entity can commit many mistakes. I'm sharing screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, Babuji.
So under the trap of false ego, a living entity may commit many mistakes. What is to be understood from Bhagavad Gita? या यनम बेति हंतारम यश्चैनम मन्यते हतम उभय तो न विजानते नायम हंति न हन्यते. Actually, body is getting killed. Soul cannot be killed. Also, a living entity who is fully aware, self-aware, and aware about the soul, super soul, and living entity is eternal part and parcel of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such a devotee, such a person, even though he kills, he is not affected by the killing. 21 also says, Veda vinasinam nityam ya yanam ajam avyayam katham sa purusa partham kam ghateyanti antikam. He never kills. Kam ghateyanti antikam. So, devotee who is in the knowledge of science of self-realizations, he neither kills any living entity nor he is getting killed because he is aware of that this body is a covering and only this body can be killed. Once this body is killed, a new body will be coming here. Dhruva Maharaj is the king, so he has some responsibility to maintain the laws and orders in the state. So in order to punish the miscreant, he has to do the retaliatory measure. So he did it. But while doing any of the activities, if enviousness, lusty desire, anger, pride are in action, then living entity is entitled to suffer. Phala sakto hi nipatyate. But while doing the duties, if a living entity is freed from the sense of false ego, while he is doing his duty, he is doing as a service to Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the matter of duty, he is doing his duty, and out of love, he sometimes execute all of the activities for the pleasure of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So such a devotee is most advanced devotees, and they never kill anybody, even though they execute their duty as a king while killing some miscreants, they will not be affected by such killings. And all these activities are mostly to be understood as ordained by material nature. The process of annihilation, creations are continuing, living entity is taking part. But ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. Because of false ego, he assumes that he is the doer and he is the enjoyer. And he is taking revenges, he is retaliating. So this concept, when one is addicted to the result, when one is unwilling to surrender the result to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, when one is unwilling to perform his duty as swadharma, as matter of duty, then he is subjected to false ego and so the reaction of the karma, laws of karma. We see that this understanding is not so stable because of this education is not well trained to the people in common. So it is an urgent matter that this science of self-realization is being taught in from the beginning. Like Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, they have got the sanskara from the early childhood. Otherwise, a living entity encounter, encounter with many adverse and uncertain situations where life causes him many failures. Because of lack of knowledge, one may commit such issues. These are very much common, sometimes from the material nature, sometimes due to our own mind, sometimes due to other living entities. We will encounter various adverse situations, but we need to balance our life in all such circumstances. It is very important that we understand. Many of the philosophers and scientists express that same thing, that in order to attain a successful life journey, we have to walk through many failures and learn from failures. Einstein said that try not to become a man of success, rather become a man of value. So bringing value in our life is very important. When we are solid founded with a value system, and this value education is imparted on us from the early childhood, then we can very easily understand life's failure and will not fall in the trap of false ego. Why these things happenings, that in our life journey are we inquiring the philosophical analysis and maturing our decisions. So value educations can enable us when we have set our journey from the blind faith to faith from intuition, while we do more speculative or analytic study, and in advance with scientific as well as spiritual inclusions from Vedanta, then we can gradually crystallize our faith. And as and when we practice more and more the axioms of Vedic literature, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, then we experience the truth and the faith becomes stronger. So faith works at all the three stages: Sambandha, Avidya, and Prayojana. Sambandha, when we inquire about ourselves, our origin, and our ultimate meaning and purpose of life, then we try to understand through the science, philosophy, and Vedantic knowledge, we come to know that we have eternal relationship with Supreme Personality of Godhead being part and parcel of Him. And gradually, when we practice the axioms of Bhagavad Gita, our faith become crystallized. When we realize Bhagavad Gita due to our practice, then we become experienced in. That is called scientific knowledge. So this quest for innate reality is the beginning. Without we inquiry about the reality of various subjects, उत्क्रामंतम स्थितम भापि भुंजनम बागुणानितम विमूढ़ा नानुपश्यन्ति पश्यन्ति ज्ञान चक्षुषा. They are called vimudha, who do not inquire about the absolute reality or innate reality, but work whimsically under the influence of false ego. So value education is very much important, that one is founded with the basic inquiries and knowledge of Sambandha Vigyan, so that he will not be work under the influence of false ego. What is real success? What is failure? Sometimes we don't know what is success. Even after being success, we may think that we are getting failure. And what is real failure? Similarly, who am I? I am suffering. Why do I die? Is there life after death? These are the very basic study of science of self-realization, yet most complex. And most of the people who claim to be the wisest among the so-called advanced material life are unable to understand these basic facts. And because of not understanding this basic fact, there are so many problems in this present world. So in order to set a successful life journey, we need to optimize our resources, our time, and our commitment to do various activities that meet the ultimate goal, the meaning and purpose of life. We should not waste our time. Every activity should contribute to the ultimate meaning and purpose of life. Anything you do, if that is not contributing to the pleasure of God, that is waste of time. धर्मः स्वनिष्ठितः पुंसान् विश्वक्सेन नोत्पादयते यदि रतिम श्रमैव हि केवलम. So one should not waste his time. One should seriously engage and enhance his commitment to the meaning and purpose of life. And one should work toward betterment of his own achievement goals and his career with a holistic and balanced approach so that his ambitions, achievements are all well balanced, going toward the ultimate meaning and purpose of life. One has to understand these systems very completely. So it is not that a monotonous way of work, way of study can help him. If somebody want to become only philosophical, and if somebody want to only become religious without a scientific mindset, so it is said by Einstein that science without religion is blind, and religion without science is lame. Means we have to have inclusion of both religion in a scientific manner, not dogmatic manner, and also science with the inclusion of Vedantic principles. That is called synthesis. So, value education need to study the fundamental laws with the absolute study of the reality in a holistic way or a new science way, covering both Vedantic as well as scientific study, empirical studies of matter and spirit. Understanding the system completely, understanding one's swadharma means abilities, where he do the best, and his abilities of uh, as a contributor in the team, how he need to behave with others, and he should understand the value of time. Even a single moment is very precious, cannot be get back with any amount of payment. And if he is engaging such time, even a little time, if engaged in learning the value system from a sadhu, स्वल्पम अप्यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयत. This pattern साधु संग सर्वशास्त्र कहे लभे मात्र साधु संगे सर्व सिद्धि है. If a living entity is interested in elevating his life toward the ultimate perfection, he should not waste his time. Rather, he should engage such time in valuable association with pure devotees and engage all of his resources for the uh, for the activities that meeting to the goal, the meaning and purpose of life. How do we learn? We sometimes learn from parents, sometimes from teachers, from various counselors, sometimes psychiatrists, philosophers, Vedanta, spiritualists, etc. So this way we try to learn. But if we do not keep the approach to understand the fundamental laws, if we do not understand the basics of spiritual life, science of self-realization, and fundamental laws, how they act upon us. नाम संकीर्तन कर करिया विचार. Bhaktivinoda Thakur say that you need to analyze your inner self, even though you are practicing Krishna consciousness, but not analyzing what is happening after practicing Krishna consciousness. You may driving a boat, the anchor is set. Overnight you are doing so hard work in driving the boat. Because of anchor is not released, you are at the same position. Srameva hi kevalam. So vichara, you you have to do Nam Sankirtan, but being freed from unearthals. You have to follow the principles of not committing offenses, and you have to become serious in chanting of holy name. So that is the example that you may sometimes work very hard, yet you are not attaining the result because you are not doing proper analysis. So this is very important that we properly analyze and act. We may experience many things. So keeping rational thinking and the basic inquiries like food, clothing, shelter, hunger, and certain lifestyles, desires are there, likes and dislikes are there. We need to manage our time and study in a balanced way. Whether your time will go on various fun factor or happiness, suffering, or interest, disinterest, etc. You need to balance this where your time should go more on these subjects, duality subjects, or fun factor, or basic inquiry like food, clothing, shelter, etc. So that approach of holistic life is very important. Without having a balanced life under the guidance of a bona fide sadhu, we may not be able to manage ourselves in a proper, balanced manner and being trained in value educations. So, without proper value educations, that is trained from the very beginning. We cannot be freed from the influence of false ego, and we'll have many troubles in every steps of the life. Due to Ekadashi today, I have been requested by Manjula Mataji to stop it. I think I have just explained the subject matter. We can discuss in the next classes. Any questions? Today is Parana at before 8 a.m. So please complete your Parana before 8 a.m. Now it is 7:42. 18 minutes you have. Any question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for a very nice class with beautiful slides. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotees, anybody having any questions, any comments?
One question. Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prashant Kumar Biswal.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
Your devotional name?
Yes. I am coming to BB Institute, Marthali.
Okay, Prabhuji.
So today I read actually Saul has not changed. Saul is a very things. Saul. So if you is it clear that Saul has no change? जैसे कि bad people, good people, honest, cruel, good people, bad people. So, is there anything like good soul, bad soul, and uh, pure soul, dirty soul? Uh, uh, is it there something like I feel? Uh, might be it is not very much. I'm not clear, and it is also not a written. Also, it is also written that Saul has not changed anything. It is
Yeah, yeah.
always
I understood your question. Thank you very much for asking. Soul, all are Sachidanandamaya. All are part and parcel of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Supreme Personality of Godhead is also Sachidanandamaya. Soul is also Sat Chit Anandamaya. Sat means eternity. Chit means knowledgeable, cognizant. and ananda means pleasurable. That is the basic constituents of soul. All soul by the nature are same, but are acquiring consciousness. What is consciousness? When a living entity has working on para prakriti or apara prakriti, whether he works in divine nature or with metal nature, then he work with consciousness. There are certain free will, intention, purpose, and he sometimes work with qualities like compassion and many other qualities. So these are reflected through consciousness. When living entity at pure state, he is not thinking himself as independent of Lord. So he is serving Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are called liberated soul, Nitya Mukta Jiva. And there is no difference in them. However, their relationship with the Lord, their exchange of services, sambandha, can vary. Some may be in parental, some may be in friendship, some may be in conjugal, some may be in servitude. So various relationship are there with Lord for all the pure souls who are Nitya Mukta. And there is also varieties of consciousness in them through which they release various rasas, even in spiritual world. In metal world also, when living entity want to enjoy independently of Supreme Personality of Godhead, so he is trapped in metal nature, works under the influence of Sattva, Raja, Tama. With these three modes of metal nature, his consciousness varies. Somebody is more afflicted by Tama, somebody is more afflicted by Raja, somebody is more Sattva Guni. So that is the variation. Soul is pure by its nature, but its consciousness are not same. So every persons you see are having different consciousness. That is the differences. Is it understood, Prabhuji?
Oh, yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Param Kuna Prabhu, you want to add
And
something?
one more
Comments?
thing, just I want to add one more thing.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Just I want to add in the same like a thread. I want to add. Also, so when we see that after some praying or chanting, I feel good, means comfort. I feel comfort, happiness. Uh, so is there a result of change in soul, or is it impact? Is it changing to means after chanting or praying? Is it there a change happened to soul or change happened to only mind?
See, soul is unchangeable. The consciousness is changeable. So what is changing? What is evolution is happening to the consciousness. It is evolution of consciousness. So when you pray, that time you realize that you are servant of God. When you act with false ego, that time you do not realize that you are servant of God. So you get positive energy. You have now got by through the mean of prayer, through the mean of humble submission and service attitude, you are now understood that you are the servant of God and acting in that way. That's why because of this positive awareness, positive energy flows into you, you feel good. And you act also in positive way. You do not influenced by the negativity. So that is the fact. Your consciousness become freed from the duality for some times, but this may be graveyard detachment. As soon as you go out again, you continue these kind of things. So that is when you javat sambandha jnana sthira na hai. As long as the concept of life, the relationship with God is not fixed, astira siddhante rahinu majiya krishna bhakti rahila dure. As long as you are unstable in the sense of self-realizations, then you will be far away from Krishna Bhakti. And the moment you execute Krishna Bhakti, you will feel good. You will feel that you are abide by the principles of devotional service, the following regulative principles. But when your mind is even afflicted by these things, again you will be feeling with false ego. So lust, anger, envy, greed can afflict. So that is the principles that you need a 24-hour engagement in Krishna consciousness activities. When you work in a mission under a bona fide spiritual authority, then your 24-hour, even your dreaming state, sleeping state, all will be Krishna consciousness. So with this Krishna consciousness, will not be suffering this. So we have to set our life from intermittent thought of Krishna consciousness to full-time Krishna consciousness. Then our consciousness will not be afflicted. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Shall I quickly read the quote, Prabhuji? Prabhupada's
Yes,
quote and good
Mataji,
manners.
do our Paramkana Prabhu Prabhakar
Yes.
want to add anything?
No, Prabhuji, you nicely explained. So, Prabhuji, whoever is asking, our consciousness can evolve. We are soul, we are atman, we never change actually. But our consciousness can evolve or devolve. So, this is what Prabhuji is saying. So, be clear. Consciousness is the symptom of soul. Consciousness is not soul. Just like fire. Fire has got heat and light, or otherwise, if you take, there are other examples like magnet. If you take, there is magnetic field, or there is something called as electric field. So, as Atman, we are always part and parcel of Lord, and Atman doesn't change. But consciousness, which is symptom of Atman, it can be evolved or devolved. So, yeah, with this short description, maybe you can meet one time personally. Today, program is there at Marathalli, then we can